Hello everybody, welcome to this vlog called On the Road in Recovery. I did a kind of play on words as on the road to recovery, on the road in recovery. There you go. Start with a funny. My name's Adrian Cox, if you don't know me. Thanks for following this account. I'm a professional musician. I play saxophone and play clarinet. I work in the jazz world, in the music industry. I also work in the kind of ska and punk scene, doing big festivals and clubs. I also tour manage a band in that scene and manage that band. I set up all the tours around the world. It's quite a full-on job. On the jazz world, I do work all around Europe. I work in America, play concerts at the Royal Albert Hall, things like that. You know, so it's quite I work in quite a level of that kind of thing. And I'm also in recovery from alcohol and drugs. And it's quite apt that I started this this week because it's 5 years ago that I stopped taking cocaine. And it's seven and a half years ago that I stopped drinking. Reason I stopped drinking, I had a massive, my drinking was very excessive, as you can imagine. In the music world, well, not just in the music industry, but for me, because I am in the music industry, that's where it was. It's always around, you know, it's not expected, but it can sort of be expected, but it sort of comes with the job you're in, whether you're in bars, whether you're in clubs, you're in dressing rooms, you're at parties, you stay up late. You know, and I was always, well, and I still am, I'm that kind of person who doesn't want to miss out on anything, so I'd always be the last person up. Having a drink, and I went professional as a musician from the age of 15. So my tolerance, and started drinking at that age, so my tolerance to stuff obviously built up to the point where I drink a hell of a lot. And the same with drugs, anything that I take, you always have to take all of it. So you know, and I've transferred that into my daily life now. But I thought I'd put together this vlog, as they say, just because there might be it might help. If it helps one person, it certainly helped me, because just talking about anything, being honest, is always a good thing. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I thought I'd do it anyway, as we come out of this kind of pandemic lockdown time. Even though I've managed to remain quite busy throughout that time, I've kept myself busy. That's part of my recovery, is that I keep myself busy all the time. Whereas some people often think when you stop drinking and they go, oh, well, you've nailed that now, you've stopped drinking. It's like they don't realise that you're having to deal with this every single day of your life. Even if you're not, you know, I don't wake up and think, oh, right, what am I going to do to stop me having a drink? I'm not thinking that, but it's there. It's you know, and people go, oh, are you struggling then? No, I'm not. I'm absolutely on top of it. And actually it's the opposite. I'm actually excelling at what I want to do. And, you know, and things like this, it's like, right, okay, I'm going to do this. It's a challenge for me. You know, I might come across as quite confident all the time. I'm a pretty confident person. That's come through recovery. I used to get it from alcohol and drugs. If you want to know, so I'm about to go on tour now for 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I just thought I'd tell you how life's changed a bit from them. So I'm here at night early at the meeting point where we meet to go on tour, over here in West London. Normally, if the meeting time was midday, I'd get to the pub for 11. If we were leaving at 3, between 11 and 3, I could easily sink 8 or 9 pints of Guinness. And then I'd be picking up 3 grams of cocaine. Definitely do one of them before we leave. And then go, and then maybe have a little sleep in the bus, then get to the gig. And it's, you know, you can have another piss up in the same day, you know. Cocaine obviously helps fuel all of that. But, you know, so your first night away on tour, I could easily be drinking, you know, 16, 17 pints, 3 grams of cocaine, you know, and whatever else, you know, tequila, red wine, everything. So life's a bit different for me now. So I came over to the meeting point a day early, went out for a nice meal. I've got a hotel room, Premier Inn, as you can see. I even made the bed for you. Can you see that? Actually, I haven't really, look. Yeah, and so I've come over a day early. I've stayed overnight, went out for a nice meal last night. I'm still here. I'm already saving money from what I would have normally been up to. But of course, it can, if you're someone who's in recovery or you're at the starts of your recovery, if you're in this world, for instance, it can be very hard. So you turn up. So now the meeting point, I'm still going to meet everyone at 1 o'clock, meeting in a pub. So that can be quite a daunting thing. There's there's so much pressure on people just walking in a pub that people expect you to have a drink, regardless of if you're in the music industry. If you're out with friends, and friends don't know how to deal with you not having a drink sometimes. You can walk in and go, oh, what are you drinking? They go, oh, well, I'm having this. Oh, are you not drinking? It's like, yeah, I'm just not drinking. Somebody told me to when you go into a pub, don't see it as you're not drinking. You're just drinking something else, which I find that can be helpful. Anyway, all the band who I'm away with and I manage, they're all amazingly supportive, and it's because they've seen people go down that road of, you know, but seven and a half years on from drink, even though I am dealing with it, I deal with it every day fine. But you think about those. Last night I met my friend and we went into a pub where I would see last night, if I'd got here early, I would have been out all night. I'd be feeling absolutely terrible today. I certainly wouldn't have gone up at 7:45 this morning. Got up, had a shower, had a coffee, watched a bit of telly. That was nice. Done some emails, done this. Worried about doing this. What am I going to say? What am I doing? But yeah, so there's lots of things, and so now I keep myself, focused on other things that I'm doing, and I find that it does take up a hell of a lot of your energy to you might always see me on my phone. For those of you that know me, I'm on my phone, or I'll be on the laptop, or I'll be doing something else, or I'm promoting a concert that I'm doing, or I'm doing this. But that's all addictions. It's my addiction, which was drinking, which then moved into, when I stopped drinking, like the cocaine addiction went higher and higher. I was spending at the time £700, £800 a week on cocaine, which you can't obviously do for very long. And the same with gambling. I got into gambling and I won a hell of a lot of money. I lost it all. But and so the addiction moves on. But now my addiction is within other things and things that are good for you. Like I'm into fitness. I go to the gym. So there's lots of things that you can replace it, but try and replace it with the good things. And once you can get it, I don't know, whoever's watching this, whether you're struggling with recovery from or if you're in recovery or you are struggling with addictions, I hope that this helps a little bit, because as I said, I don't really know what where I'm going to go with this, but I'm going to just keep a diary of when I'm on tour and just tell you how I'm feeling a bit. So today I've woken up, I feel really good. It's the first time gigging with this band for me since the beginning of March 2020, when we were on tour in Spain. It's a band that I manage and tour manage. So it's a lot of stress for me. It doesn't have to be stressful, but so sometimes it's made stressful, but I'm definitely in a much, much better place to deal with it. And I'm surrounded by alcohol and people like I've given up smoking as well. Everybody smokes. So every single trigger that could, every trigger that could send someone off down the wrong path again, or could knock you off your recovery, or could be struggling, every trigger is there this weekend in massive abundance. And so over this weekend, I'm just going to tell you how I'm feeling and what I'm doing whilst everyone else is doing that and whatever. And if it helps, I really hope it does. And I'm going to continue this and build it up. But please share with anybody that you think might benefit from seeing this. And I'll catch up with you a bit later on today. All right? On the road in recovery. There you go. All right, folks. See you in a bit.